Today I decided to speedrun the second volume of Red Ball 4, which, if you haven't seen the last video, is a game about this red little ball and his journey evading these gray chompy goobers. So without further ado, let's go into the deep forest and let this speedrun begin. The first level starts off pretty simple. We just go right, jump up a log, jump up a few platforms, and then we're met with this gray goober, our first of the volume. And if you've seen the last video, you know exactly what we're gonna do to him. What can I say? His life was a sacrifice that I was willing to make. The second level gets a little spicier. We're gonna have to show off those parkour skills we learned in the first volume and jump up these freaking platforms. We even jump over this saw here that is kind of really loud. I don't like the saws in this game. But loud saws aside, we hit this sick trick shot and finish the level. And with this next level, things get exponentially more interesting. They're introducing a crazy new concept, a button. That's right, to get to the checkpoint, we first have to open that locked door with a button. That is a crazy concept that no other game has done before ever. But we're just the greatest of all time. We open the door and get to the checkpoint and hit this sick jump first try, bang, right on that gray goober, and we're on to the next checkpoint. And you can really see my speedrun skills shine because I'm immediately going to push this log over so we can hop up this tree before the saw absolutely obliterates my poor log. Same thing with this next level. I try and get the one cycle but miss barely, which means I have to wait and watch like a little cup for this platform to come back out. But when it does, we hop on up and cross the Bridge of Doom. It's just a rope bridge, it's nothing special. But after it is where we meet our new enemy, the ninja. Yeah, he's like a normal enemy, but he hops. He's nothing special, I'm gonna be honest here. For this next checkpoint, we got one of those fancy locked doors, so we gotta make our way up the platform. I accidentally get hit by this goober, so I get my revenge. Hopefully I don't make the same mistake, and yep, I saw that coming. So we get our revenge twice, go hit the button, get past the freaking checkpoint. We're just the greatest. And in this next level, we're once again trying to get the one cycle, which we pitifully miss. Wasn't even close, but at least we hit this sick jump, barely make it to that one. Then we're going to easily hit this next jump and then immediately commit yeah, that was something, all right. After my stroke, I decided to push this log up a hill because I'm gonna need it for whatever comes next. And what came next just so happened to be violence. Now with this perfectly placed log, we can hop over this tree and get on to the next checkpoint, where we slap the button, hop on the rod, and make this sick epic jump, beating the level. Hey, look at that, we improved a medal, yippee! The next level has more of that fancy button pushing mechanic, so we're gonna go over here, barely dodge this guy, and push that button to unlock our gate. We're then gonna die and have to restart the entire level. Oh, brother, this guy stinks! You guys totally didn't see that. This is my first try. Look at me, absolutely, that didn't happen too. I'm just gonna knock out this guy so that no more mistakes like that happen. I'm then gonna hop over on to this tree, hit the teeter-totter, sick epic jump, and we're in there. Now we're just gonna keep it simple. We're gonna hop on over, freaking hop up these platforms, make the jump speedy as ever.
I am under the water. Please help me.
There's always try number 2, and we're doing this exact same thing. We're gonna hop on this rod. We have to wait for the next one, but that's no matter. I'm gonna be a good boy this time. I wait for the next cycle, and now that it's safe to jump, I jump and I make it. You already know I gotta kill one of those chompy goobers on my way out, but then we're done the level. This next level's got one of those ninja goobers, so we tactically evade him. Look at that skill, oh my goodness. We then one cycle this rod, and we're on to the next checkpoint. And boy howdy, this next checkpoint leads me to a freaking log and a ramp. We're gonna use both of those to their fullest extent. We push the log up the ramp, and we commit copious acts of violence for the sake of progression. Fortunately now though, we have another one of those loud ass saws who's hiding a button. I managed to hit both buttons, almost hit the freaking trick shot, tried to hit it again, but it was just not happening. So I went back over to the other side, hop off the freaking rod to the other rod, and we're beating the level. Our next level has one of those buttons again and a little rod action, only this one is a hold. So we have to sit here for a few seconds to extend our rod fully before we can run over and use this platform to jump onto the rod before it gets soft. I mean, retracts. For our next checkpoint, we have a goofy little freaking time trial thing. We hit this button to open the door, but it doesn't last forever, so we gotta be speedy as heck in order to get to the end before the door closes again in our face. We even mess up here, but it's no issue because speedy as heck. But now we've got to deal with this Ninja Goober and these little teeter-totter platforms. I managed to set this one up. I'm trying to knock this one over, but it is clearly not working. I even try again. Honestly, I don't know what I was expecting. It was the same outcome. So I finally used my brain, but then I missed this jump. It's pretty tragic. I finally hit my third attempt and we're there. We make the last jump. We beat the level. That was rough, I'll be honest, but we're done. Our next level here is going to get pretty spicy, I'll be honest with you guys. We got this freaking button action, a saw, and 3 ninjas down below. We have to evade all of these goobers in order to get to the next checkpoint. It's actually pretty easy because the saw does most of the work. If it hits a ninja, the ninja dies. If it hits us, we also die, but we're better at evading it than the ninjas. Look at us go. Now we got more of these hold buttons, so we're going to hold the one side, run over, hold the other side, now make the jump. It's pretty simple. You're just holding buttons and jumping on rods. I then managed to pop over this bridge, committing violent acts of murder. But it's for the sake of the grind, baby. It's what we do. It's level 25, and I'm tired of doing all the work myself, so I'm going to make this ninja do some work for me. He's going to hit the button, letting me launch over to his area, jump over to this other rod, and make the one cycle look easy as pie. I'm then going to jump off this lowest platform across the Atlantic Ocean and get to the next platform. And here we have another log, but we're going to have to be tactical with this, because if we take too long, we're going to... Yep, we took too long. That's exactly what's going to happen when we take too long. So we're going to have to set this log back up yet again. Maybe slower this time. We got to be speedy here. We don't want to mess up twice in a row. We got it. Huge. No, we don't. The log's going in the wrong direction. We don't like that. So now I'm going to use this, maneuver it, slap it as hard as I can to get it nice and far away so I can set it up slowly. Slowly, tech deck. There you go. Perfect. Hop over. Bang, we're there. Almost screwed it up. I'm gonna keep it a stack. I was a little nervy there, but the freaking log's gonna hit our button and we're gonna be able to beat the level. Yippee. Level 26 is introducing a little timed button and normal button action. We use the timed button to extend the rods. We're then gonna open the door with our normal button and we're on to the next checkpoint where we begin our trapeze act. Yeah, we're flying on a freaking swinging platform and I am here for it. This is the most fun I've had all game. Unfortunately, that's followed up with the least fun I'll have all game because we have to use this Ninja Goober in order to hit this button because it's too far for us to jump on. Thankfully, I get it on my second attempt, which is pretty darn good. I then get hit by this ninja. I don't know what I was doing. I was going the wrong way anyway, but we beat the level. Yippee, I guess. It's level 27. We've got 2 loud saws. We've got a gray goober. We no longer have a gray goober, but we have a button that we gotta press. So we have to do some tactical evading of these saws in order to get that done. It's kind of easy. I make it look easy. That's because it is easy. We hit the button, we open the door. You already know what's happening. You don't need the voiceover, but that's what you're gonna get. We evade the saws. We're gonna move on to the next checkpoint. And here we tactically get knocked out by this freaking Ninja Goober so that we can have 3 hearts. I was going to say full hearts. I was going to say 3 hearts. Didn't know which to say. But we evade him. We move on to our next checkpoint. And I'm going to be honest, this checkpoint's kind of easy. All we do is we hop on these rods and that's about it. You see, I tried to do a little speedrun strat. It didn't quite work, so I'll just wait for the next cycle. We're there. We beat the level. It was pretty easy, I'll be honest. And you know, 28, you'd think the levels get a little bit harder, but nope, they actually get somewhat easier. There's 0 enemies on this freaking checkpoint. We just hit a button and that's it. We then get to commit a double homicide, which is always tons of fun, and we move on to our next checkpoint. And here we're going to incorporate a swinging log in our trapeze act. We're going to wait for this freaking swinging platform. We're going to scoot our log across the map. We're going to keep going, and we're there. Easy as that. We're freaking beating the level. We're on to level 29 already. This is crazy. And here's the 29th level. It's the second last level in the game, and where you'd expect it to get kind of, maybe a little bit difficult at least. And you'd be kind of right, but also kind of wrong, because the game isn't really difficult in the enemies. It's difficult in the fact that I have a very small and smooth brain and really couldn't figure out this level, I'll be honest. And by figure out, I mean I really just couldn't get the timing. I would have to push this log over, but I always kept pushing it too fast or too slow, and it really wasn't working out for me. Yeah, I tried this a good, like 2, 3, 7 times. But after a solid minute of attempts, we finally got the timing, and we managed to get this past this checkpoint, thankfully. And for our trebles, we're greeted with a pretty easy checkpoint. We just dodged these 2 gray goobers. They're not a big deal. We then first cycle this little goober button action. It's pretty cool. We hit this sick jump to hit the second button up top of the tree. We open the door. We're onto probably the worst part of the game. I'm gonna be honest here. See, these platforms are a little too high for us to jump onto normally. And if we just jump on the freaking goobers normally, we are still not high enough. So we have to wait for them to jump and then jump on top of their jump in order to actually make it on top of the platform. And this took me so many tries. I died, as you just saw. I died even when I'm like there. Like I just can't make it. I really don't know the best way to do it. I just, you know, big old trial and error, and I was hoping for the best. Like I'm already on 1 heart. It's looking not good. I barely make that. I have no idea how that worked, but I'm not gonna question it because we're on to the boss fight, and that's all that matters. And I'm gonna be honest, this boss fight was so freaking easy. I could probably do it blindfolded. It's kind of a joke. I mean, it is a kid's game, so it makes sense, but they really did not try. He has like 2 moves, and then he spawns in goobers, but that's later on. We have to get him down to half health before he enters his second phase, if you can call it that, but we're gonna bonk him again. He loses his second heart, spawns in 2 saws this time. It doesn't make any difference. We're just gonna hop over them because we're just a professional, and that's just a fact. He's gonna start roly-poly-olying again. We're just gonna slide on underneath him. We're gonna bonk him 1 last time to send him into his second phase. I'm pretty sure he's gonna spawn some more saws. Yep, I was correct. We're gonna hop over these saws. Again, no big deal. It's more of a time waster than anything because there's no shot we're gonna get hit by these, but that's all right. He's gonna start hoppy-doppying all over the place again, but once he stops, instead of being weak, he's gonna move into his second phase, and it's kind of scary. I'm just kidding, it's not. Our big boss here is gonna call for backup. He's gonna bring his little ninja boy over. We're just gonna bonk him on the head a few times. 1, 2, wombo combo him. Now we slide underneath of the big boy, and we just rinse and repeat. He's gonna hop over to the other end, spawn 1 more ninja goober, and we're just gonna bonk him on the head again. We're gonna wait for him, maneuver. I don't know how that wasn't a hit. I then bonk him for no reason. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm on 1 heart. I gotta be careful. So I start to take it a little slower. I make sure that was not slower. Holy crap. That could have just ended my entire run, but it didn't. We're just waiting for him. He's jumping. He's spawning in 1 more ninja. We're just gonna bonk him on the head twice. 1, 2, wombo combo. Slide underneath of the boss man again. He's gonna become weak. We're gonna bonk him, and it's just gonna be a run ender. I mean, in a good way, not in a bad way. Yeah, there's not much else to say. We're just gonna continue to slide underneath this guy when he does his roly-poly-oly attack. Bonk him on the freaking side, and he's down to 1 HP. Just gonna roll underneath him 1 last time. Wait for him to give us our damage window. And just like that, we're gonna bonk him and win the game in a time of 13 minutes and 8 seconds. Not too shabby. And looking at the leaderboard, that time puts us at 25th place in the entire world. That's pretty darn good. I mean, sure, that's out of 27 people, but I'm taking it. If you've made it this far into the video, I really appreciate it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And maybe consider dropping a like or subscribing or hitting the post notifications. I don't know. That's all I got for you guys today. Tune in next week for Volume 3. And as always, the grind never stops.